all of us living here in the UK, England, can all relate to the idea that we're challenged daily to stay enthusiastic about the future and what that may hold, right? We can all relate to that. There's that. And then there's proactively going around ripping down, like literally ripping down the flags, and then stamping on it, which in this instance is some pretty major exercise. Yeah, I noticed the Mickey Mouse t-shirt there as well. There you go. I've seen this sort of profile in the queues at Disneyland. Actually, I mean that's some significant exercise and exertion to do that and proactively want to show that level of frustration and hate. And I often wonder how indoctrinated a mind would need to be for you to want to proactively show so much hatred towards the country in which you reside. And as I mentioned straight off the bat, hey, we're all challenged on a regular basis to stay enthusiastic, and with everything, including all the challenges that we face on a daily basis, it is becoming more of a challenge. However, these flags seem to be kicking up a bit of a stink. I did have a bit of a chuckle to myself. I was driving through a relatively small town, and there's all in the main mini roundabouts there, and somebody had painted the red lines across it. As I was driving towards it, obviously you hear a lot about this stuff, but then to actually see it, it's actually quite funny. But at risk of sort of straw manning a little bit, what are we meant to do? Actually, you know what? We'll come back to that one. But at the risk of sort of straw manning the situation, which the media isn't shy about doing, so let's try a little bit of it ourselves. But I think the irony is that those females, those females pulling down the flag, stamping on it. What if they needed help? The type of people putting the flags up are the type of people typically willing to help, in regards to everyday scenarios, including stuff like this. And I think the irony about them ripping the flag down and proactively stamping on it is that the type of people putting the flags up are the ones that would actually help them out, and they would probably want their help in certain scenarios, right? Bit straw manny, I know, we don't want to go from extremes to the other, but like I say, the media certainly isn't shy about doing that.
Won't let you in because you've got England flags on?
Yes, they won't.
Not letting people in because of England flags? Why?
Because it's a simple rule by management.
Simple rule by management.
I request that you don't video our staff, please. It's a kind request.
Nah, I'm not asking you why you're not letting people in with England flags in England.
I'm happy to serve everyone to go through a normal class.
No, I just want to put it online to show that this pub, what is this pub?
The Manor.
The Manor?
I'm happy to
and their management are refusing people with England
We are
flags.
not involving ourselves in any of these protests.
It's not a protest wearing an England flag.
You're like the one from, Trump.
So they're not letting people in with England flags. And of course, I think the overall, should we call it an argument? Let's call it a debate. It's not even a debate. It is what it is. A private establishment, gets to dictate. Obviously, there are laws in place, and this is where it all gets a little bit fuzzy, and where we'll go back to that original news article that flashed up, where it gets a bit fuzzy in regards to the laws and what you can and can't discriminate against. Well, that's becoming a little bit more jaded, a little bit more grey, I suppose, in regards to what is and isn't acceptable. But it was always like that, really, when you think about it, wasn't it? I mean, there's laws. Shut up. There's laws. I should turn these freaking notifications off. Go away. There's laws, right? And there's things that people adhere to, obviously. And then there's these perceptions, public perceptions. There's these things that are acceptable socially, or you could call them like the current thing, right? And then all of a sudden, the current thing becomes something that supersedes it all. And in some circumstances, actually a lot with that sort of mentality, it supersedes what people should be doing by the law as well, which brings us on to things like this. Young Brits being squeezed out of jobs. Yeah, and the stories and rhetoric that you might be hearing behind a lot of examples like this, like young white working class people, kids are being left behind academically. Again, look, all the stats, you don't need the science and the experts. It's happening. The stats say that it is happening here. And now the latest figures as well is in regards to young Brits, you've got soaring numbers of jobless Brits now across all ages, but it's really hitting the youth as well. And it's becoming a welfare state. And when you add some of the party poopers, all of them, in regards to that stat, it becomes pretty excessive as well. So the thing that I would add to this in regards to a thought process is going back to the original point of staying enthusiastic. Yeah, having a will, having a want to get up in the morning and feel like there's purpose. Get up, go to work, and enjoy, or try and enjoy it, but at least have something there, a bit of passion about it, perhaps. I never had a problem with that, and again, I think so much of it is a mindset thing. Yeah, and our fears drive us, and my fear, certainly from a young age, was, not being able to afford stuff. So it got me out of bed. But with a welfare state, kind of changes the mentality. But just to add a bit of fairness to that, where's the enthusiasm instilled in younger people to want to get up and go to work and do these things, rather than just choose to get the latest benefits and put their head in social media and their computer or whatever it is? Yeah, these are the sort of things that need addressing at the same time as people ripping down flags and stamping on them. It's a type of mentality that's going on right now, and it's not going to work. What do you think? Ta-ta.